New York City wakes up to another violent morning. Crime has returned stronger than ever. Gangs rule the streets at night. Corruption spreads through police and politics. Frank Castle watches the city from a rooftop. He is older, heavier, and angrier. The world still calls him the Punisher. Frank believes his war never ended. He loads his weapons carefully. His skull vest is worn but feared. A new criminal empire rises in the city. Its leader is unknown. The streets whisper the name Black Sunday. Black Sun controls drugs, weapons, and trafficking. Entire neighborhoods fall overnight. The police are powerless. Frank begins hunting Black Sun soldiers. Bodies start appearing across the city. Criminals panic when they see the skull symbol. Frank leaves no survivors. Meanwhile, Jason R. plays Detective Marcus Kane. Kane is an honest cop in a broken system. Kane believes the Punisher is alive again. His captain orders him to stop Frank Castle. Kane secretly studies Frank's past. He learns about Frank's family murder. Kane begins to understand Frank's pain. Black Sun retaliates brutally. A police precinct is bombed. Innocent officers die. Frank arrives too late. His anger explodes. Frank attacks a Black Sun warehouse. He kills everyone inside. He finds evidence of something bigger. Black Sun is backed by powerful elites. Politicians fund the operation. Military weapons are involved. Frank realizes this is a war. Kane follows Frank to the warehouse. Kane sees the massacre. Frank and Kane meet face to face. Guns are raised. Silence fills the air. Frank warns Kane to walk away. Kane refuses. Kane arrests Frank. Black Sun attacks the convoy. Chaos erupts on the highway. Frank escapes in the firefight. Kane survives and questions everything. Black Sun marks Kane for death. Kane's family is threatened. Frank secretly protects them. Kane realizes Frank saved them. Kane confronts Frank again. This time they talk. Frank explains Black Sun's true power. Kane agrees to help secretly. They form an uneasy alliance. Frank trains Kane in survival. Kane shares police intel. Black Sun's leader is revealed. His name is Victor Salgado. Salgado is a former intelligence officer. He believes chaos creates order. Salgado wants to control the city completely. Salgado sends elite killers after Frank. Frank survives ambushes barely. His body shows the damage of years. Flashbacks haunt Frank's mind. He remembers his wife's smile. He remembers his children laughing. The pain never fades. Frank pushes forward anyway. Kane leaks evidence to the media. Corrupt officials are exposed. Black Sun accelerates its plans. They prepare a massive city attack. Frank discovers the target. A crowded public event. Thousands of lives are at risk. Frank prepares alone. Kane brings backup secretly. The attack begins. Explosions rock the city center. Panic spreads instantly. Frank moves through smoke and fire. He eliminates terrorists methodically. Kane evacuates civilians. Salgado escapes underground. Frank chases him. They reach an abandoned subway station. Salgado mocks Frank's mission. Salgado claims Frank enjoys killing. Frank denies it. Frank says he only ends evil. A brutal fight begins. Guns, knives, and fists collide. Frank is injured badly. Salgado nearly kills him. Kane arrives and shoots Salgado. Salgado survives, but is captured. Evidence destroys Black Sun publicly. The city breathes again briefly. Frank disappears once more. Kane covers for him. Media debates the Punisher's existence. Crime rates drop sharply. Criminals fear the skull. Kane becomes a symbol of justice. Frank watches from afar. He refuses recognition. New gangs try to rise. Frank stops him immediately. He becomes a myth again. Kane receives a warning. A new threat approaches. Frank senses it too. He reloads his weapons. The war never ends. Frank accepts that truth. He is not a hero. He is a consequence. Criminals remember that. The city sleeps cautiously. Frank patrols the night. His wounds heal slowly. His mind never rests. He visits his family's grave. He promises to continue. Kane watches from a distance. Kane respects Frank now. The law remains flawed. Frank fills the gaps. Shadows belong to him. The skull remains feared. Blood stains the streets less. Frank never smiles. He never forgets. New enemies whisper his name. Old criminals flee the city. Frank adapts to every threat. He learns new tactics. Technology changes the war. Frank changes with it. Kane protects the innocent openly. Frank protects them silently. Their paths rarely cross again. But trust remains. Salgado rots in prison. He warns of worse evils. Frank listens carefully. Hell always finds new faces. Frank prepares endlessly. His arsenal grows. His body weakens slightly. His will never breaks. The city remembers peace briefly. Frank ensures it lasts. Rain falls over rooftops. Frank stands alone again. The skull shines faintly. Sirens echo far away. Frank disappears into darkness. Criminals lock their doors. Fear spreads among the guilty. Hope spreads among victims. Frank walks forward. He does not look back. The Punisher lives on. Justice remains brutal. Mercy remains rare. Frank accepts the cost. Kane continues to fight legally. Frank continues illegally. Both fight for the same goal. The city survives. Evil adapts. Frank adapts faster. The war evolves. Frank evolves with it. His legend grows. Children whisper stories. Criminals believe them. Frank never confirms anything. He remains unseen. The skull becomes a warning. Darkness fears him. Light cannot claim him. Frank belongs nowhere. He belongs everywhere. The night welcomes him. Guns remain loaded. The mission remains clear. No compromise. No surrender. No forgiveness for monsters. Frank moves again. Another crime scene awaits. Another war begins. Kane hears distant gunfire. He looks to the sky. He knows Frank is there. The city remains standing. That is enough. Frank watches silently. His shadow stretches long. The skull fades into darkness. The Punisher continues. Evil trembles quietly. Justice walks armed. Frank never rests. The city never fully sleeps. Frank remains awake. His war is eternal. His purpose unbroken. His soul scarred. His resolve steel. The Punisher endures. New enemies gather. Frank waits patiently. He is never surprised. He is always ready. The night closes in. Frank steps forward. Gunfire echoes again. Another legend grows. Another criminal falls. Frank does not count bodies. He counts threats removed. Kane files another report. The truth remains hidden. Frank prefers it that way. Darkness hides him well. The skull shines briefly, then vanishes. The city breathes easier. Fear remains among the guilty. Frank moves on. The war continues silently. The Punisher never ends. Justice has no face, only consequences. Frank accepts eternity. He carries the burden. The city survives another night. Frank stands guard. Evil waits again. Frank waits too. No one sees him. Everyone feels him. The skull lives on. The legend grows darker. Frank remains human. That is his curse. That is his strength. The night deepens. Frank disappears again. Gun smoke fades. Sirens return. The city lives. Frank ensures it. The Punisher walks forever. His mission unchanged. His pain eternal. His war endless. Justice unforgiving. Darkness obeys. Criminals remember. Innocents survive. Frank stands alone. The skull remains. The myth continues.